Hey everyone, ready to dive into something pretty amazing.
Always.
Today we're tackling respiration. And
Ooh.
not just the how-to, but the why and all those intricate mechanisms going on inside us.
Yeah, it's way more fascinating than people think.
Right. We'll be dissecting this awesome biology lecture on the respiratory system.
All right.
But first, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button.
And join the knowledge crew.
Okay, so respiration,
It's like this constant gas exchange happening inside us.
like a dance.
Yeah. And it's not just breathing in and out, it's how these gases fuel our existence.
Okay, so why is oxygen so crucial?
Think of our bodies as like these complex power plants, right?
Needing fuel.
Exactly. And for us, that's glucose.
Sugar.
Yep. And to burn it efficiently, we need oxygen.
So we're like internal combustion engines running on oxygen and sugar.
Haha. Pretty much. That burning process, breaking down glucose using oxygen, is cellular respiration.
And it's happening in every cell.
Constantly. Generating the energy we need to do everything.
So breathing's just step one in this whole energy production thing.
You got it. It's how we get that oxygen in.
And it's quite a process, right?
Oh, yeah. So when you inhale, your diaphragm, that muscle under your lungs, contracts and flattens.
Okay.
At the same time, your intercostal muscles, the ones between your ribs, pull your rib cage up and out,
So we're making space.
creating lower air pressure inside compared to outside, so air rushes in to equalize.
Like a vacuum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And exhaling is mostly passive.
Okay.
The diaphragm and intercostal muscles relax, chest cavity shrinks, pressure increases, air's forced out.
So inhaling's active, exhaling's more of a release.
Yeah.
But where does the air go once we inhale?
Oh, it goes on a journey through your respiratory system.
Ooh, tell me more.
Hmm.
Where does it all begin?
The entrance, of course, your nose and mouth.
Right.
Then down your pharynx, your throat, passing through your larynx, the voice box.
Wait, so our voice comes from air passing through our throat?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it vibrates your vocal cords in the larynx,
Yeah.
producing sound.
No way, that's so cool.
Simple mechanism, complex range of sounds.
Mind-blowing. So after the voice box, where does the air go?
To the trachea, your windpipe, a sturdy tube, keeps things flowing.
Makes sense.
Then it splits into two bronchi, one for each lung, like a branching tree.
And I bet it keeps branching.
You bet. Inside the lungs, the bronchi divide into smaller tubes called bronchioles, like tiny twigs.
And at the very end,
The alveoli, these microscopic balloon-like sacs.
the alveoli, why are they so important?
Picture them like clusters of tiny balloons at the end of each bronchiole, surrounded by capillaries, your tiniest blood vessels.
Right. The capillaries are so small that red blood cells have to squeeze through in single file.
Yeah.
So what happens when the air hits these alveoli surrounded by capillaries?
That's where the magic happens. Oxygen from the air in the alveoli diffuses across the thin walls and into your bloodstream.
Diffusion. So
Yeah.
the gases move from high concentration to low concentration.
Exactly, finding balance.
Okay.
The inhaled air is packed with oxygen, about 21%, way more than the oxygen-poor blood arriving from your body. So oxygen flows from the alveoli into the blood.
What about the carbon dioxide?
It does the opposite. Blood arriving at the alveoli has more carbon dioxide than the air, so it diffuses from the blood into the air, ready to be exhaled.
So it's a constant exchange happening with every breath.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
And here's a cool fact. Inhaled air is about 21% oxygen, but exhaled air is only 16%.
Whoa, big difference. So our lungs are grabbing almost a quarter of the oxygen we breathe in.
Talk about efficient. Our lungs are pros at getting that oxygen into our blood.
Okay, so we breathe in, oxygen goes into our blood, but what about the carbon dioxide? Why do we get rid of it?
Remember cellular respiration, where our cells use oxygen to produce energy?
Right.
Carbon dioxide's a byproduct. If it builds up, it can be harmful.
So exhaling is just as important.
Absolutely. Got to maintain that gas balance. Too much carbon dioxide makes our blood acidic, messes with functions.
Wow, I'm seeing breathing in a whole new light.
There's so much going on.
Before we go further, let's give our listeners something to ponder. So, holding your breath stops this exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide.
Right. Diffusion stops.
How long can you hold your breath?
Yeah,
And what's happening in your body when you do? Something to think about.
definitely.
We'll be back soon to unpack that and dive even deeper into the wonders of respiration. Stay tuned.
Can't wait. Makes you think, huh?
It really does. Like, we don't usually think about breathing. Our body just does it.
Yeah, it's our autonomic nervous system controls all that essential stuff automatically.
Like our heartbeat just keeps ticking.
Right. But unlike our heartbeat, we can control our breath.
Really?
Yeah. We can take a deep breath, hold it, change our breathing patterns.
So when we do things like yoga and focus on our breath, we're tapping into that control.
You got it. And we can actually affect our heart rate, mood, even stress levels.
It's like a built-in stress reliever.
Exactly.
I have tried some meditation, and focusing on breathing does seem to calm me down.
There's a reason for that. Deep, slow breaths activate our parasympathetic nervous system.
The rest and digest system.
Yep, it's like hitting the relax button.
Makes sense. So breathing isn't just about staying alive. It affects our well-being, too.
It's a powerful connection, often overlooked, but it's there. Our breath linking our physical and mental states.
This is changing how I see breathing completely.
And speaking of pushing limits, did you know some people can hold their breath for minutes, like diving deep without any gear?
Free divers. It's crazy how they do that.
It's a prime example of pushing the respiratory system's limits.
Physical and mental discipline, for sure.
Totally. What happens in their bodies at a cellular level when they're down there holding their breath is amazing.
I can't even imagine.
Their heart rate slows, blood vessels constrict, their spleen releases extra red blood cells, all to conserve oxygen.
Like a power-saving mode.
Right. But they have to train like crazy to get to that level.
Makes sense, pushing your body that far.
They condition themselves to tolerate low oxygen, high carbon dioxide, and learn to control their breathing reflexes.
Overriding those survival instincts, that's wild.
It shows the power of the mind-body connection.
This deep dive has been eye-opening. Respiration is more than just a biological process.
Way more. It's vital and affects everything about us.
Okay, time for a final thought-provoking question.
Sure.
All right, let's hear it.
Thinking about free diving and those extreme feats, what about the ethics of it all? Pushing the human body that far, is there a line between potential and risk?
That's a good question, something to think about for sure.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about how far is too far, right?
Definitely. It's a discussion we need to have as we keep exploring what our bodies can do.
We've definitely given everyone a lot to think about today. From the basics of breathing to, wow, those incredible free divers.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey through the world of respiration.
And it shows that something as simple as breathing is actually this incredibly complex and vital process.
Absolutely. A delicate dance of gases and cells happening all the time.
And it just goes to show there's always something more to discover about the human body.
Every breath we take is a reminder of how amazing life is.
So true. Next time you take a deep breath, think about everything going on inside, from your nose to your lungs and beyond.
It's a true symphony of science and nature, keeping us going.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into respiration. We'll catch you next time for another fascinating exploration.